Antonio Brown wasn't just another NFL player. He was a superstar, a six-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, and one of the most dominant wide receivers of his era. But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. One moment, he was making highlight reel catches. The next, he was melting down on live TV, walking off the field shirtless, and throwing away his NFL career. Teams wanted him, then suddenly no one did. So what really happened? Was it just ego and bad decisions? Or was there something much darker beneath the surface? A truth that few people are willing to talk about? From record-breaking seasons to lawsuits, public feuds, and bizarre behavior, Antonio Brown's story is unlike anything the NFL has ever seen. And when you uncover the real reason behind his downfall, it's even more shocking than you think. Let's dive into the rise, the fall, and the truth behind Antonio Brown's shocking story. The rise from humble beginnings to NFL superstar. Antonio Brown's journey to NFL greatness wasn't easy. He wasn't a five-star recruit. He didn't come from money, and he didn't have a clear path to success. But what he did have, unmatched talent, an unstoppable work ethic, and a chip on his shoulder the size of a football field. Born in Miami, Florida, Brown grew up in a tough environment. His father, Eddie Brown, was a legend in the Arena Football League, but Antonio had to make his own name. He bounced around in high school, struggling with instability, even spending time homeless. Despite these challenges, he refused to quit. With no major college offers, Brown took a chance on Central Michigan University, a school not known for producing NFL stars. But once he got on the field, he made sure the world noticed him. His speed, route running, and fearless playing style set him apart. By his junior year, he was one of the most electrifying receivers in college football. Even then, the NFL wasn't convinced. 31 teams passed on him in the 2010 NFL Draft. It wasn't until the sixth round, pick 195 overall, that the Pittsburgh Steelers finally gave him a shot. Brown never forgot that. He took it personally. Making a name in the NFL, most sixth-round picks barely make the roster. But Antonio Brown, he came in with something to prove. As a rookie, he flashed his potential as a kick returner, helping the Steelers reach Super Bowl 45. But that was just the beginning. Over the next few years, Brown climbed the ranks, turning into a nightmare for defenses. His footwork, route running, and hands were unmatched. By 2013, he was the Steelers' #1 receiver, and from there, he was nearly unstoppable. For 6 straight seasons, 2013 to 2018, Brown was one of the most dominant wide receivers in NFL history. 6-time Pro Bowler, 7 1,000-yard seasons, 4-time first-team All-Pro fastest receiver to 700 career catches. Every game, he made the impossible look easy. One-handed catches, toe-drag touchdowns, clutch performances. His work ethic became legendary. Stories surfaced of him being the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave. He wanted to be great, and it showed. The moment he became a superstar. The 2015 season was when Antonio Brown officially became a superstar. He put up a mind-blowing 1,834 yards and 10 touchdowns, including multiple games with over 200 yards receiving. He wasn't just good. He was arguably the best wide receiver in the world. His connection with quarterback Ben Roethlisberger was nearly unstoppable. Defenses double-teamed him, triple-teamed him. It didn't matter. Brown always found a way to get open. His iconic moments kept piling up. The immaculate extension, a last-second game-winning touchdown against the Ravens' back-to-back 100-catch seasons. Something few WRs have ever done. Clutch playoff performances that kept the Steelers in Super Bowl contention. By 2017, Brown was the highest-paid receiver in the NFL, the face of the Steelers' offense and a household name. He was on track for a Hall of Fame career, but what no one saw coming was the downfall that would happen next. The fame, the money, and the spotlight, everything that made him great, would soon become his biggest enemy. The turning point. When things started going wrong. Antonio Brown had built himself into one of the best wide receivers in NFL history, but with that success came ego, conflict, and controversy. At first, the issues seemed minor, just the typical frustrations of a highly competitive athlete. But soon things spiraled into one of the most dramatic downfalls the NFL has ever seen. Locker room issues and sideline drama. For years, Brown's fiery personality was seen as part of what made him great. But by 2017 and 2018, cracks were beginning to show. His passion turned into frustration, and his frustration turned into conflict. Frequent sideline outbursts. Brown was often seen yelling at teammates and coaches when he wasn't getting the ball. Public feuds with Ben Roethlisberger, the QBWR duo that once dominated the league, started to fall apart. Roethlisberger called out Brown's mistakes on live radio, and Brown fired back on social media. The infamous Gatorade cooler incident. During a game, Brown angrily threw a Gatorade cooler on the sideline after not getting a target. Then came the final straw, the fallout with the Steelers and his explosive exit. Late in the 2018 season, Brown's relationship with the Steelers completely unraveled. Before a crucial Week 17 game, Brown got into a heated argument with Roethlisberger at practice. The fight got so bad that Brown skipped practice the rest of the week and refused to answer calls from coaches and teammates. When game day arrived, he was benched. Instead of addressing the situation professionally, Brown left the stadium at halftime and went completely silent. He later took to Twitter, blasting the Steelers organization. At that moment, it was clear his time in Pittsburgh was over. The Steelers tried to trade him, but Brown made things difficult. He mocked the team on social media, changed his hair color to blue, and even live-streamed private conversations. Eventually, Pittsburgh found a deal, sending him to the Oakland Raiders in 2019, the Raiders' disaster. A $30 million mistake. At first, it looked like a fresh start. The Raiders gave Brown a massive $30 million contract, making him the centerpiece of their offense. But from the moment he arrived, chaos followed. The helmet drama. Brown refused to play because the NFL banned his old helmet. He filed multiple grievances, threatened to retire, and even spray-painted an old helmet to trick officials. Frostbitten feet. In one of the strangest incidents ever, Brown suffered severe frostbite from cryotherapy gone wrong, causing him to miss practices. Explosive feud with Raiders GM. Brown got into a heated argument with GM Mike Mayock, reportedly threatening to punch him. Social media meltdowns. Brown posted private team fines on Instagram, recorded phone calls with coach Jon Gruden, and publicly demanded his release. The Raiders had enough. Just days before the season started, they cut him without him ever playing a single game. The shocking downfall had just begun. What should have been a chance at redemption turned into one of the biggest implosions in NFL history. Brown went from being a Hall of Fame lock to NFL teams wanting nothing to do with him. But this was only the beginning. His downfall was about to get even more bizarre, more controversial, and even more destructive. The free fall, Antonio Brown's career unraveling. After his disastrous stint with the Raiders, Antonio Brown's NFL career seemed beyond saving. His behavior had scared away teams, and his reputation was in tatters. But then one team was willing to take a risk, the New England Patriots, a second chance with the Patriots. Gone in 2 weeks. When the Patriots signed Brown in the September 2019, it felt like a potential redemption story. He was now catching passes from Tom Brady, playing for a franchise known for turning troubled players into champions. Brown made an immediate impact, scoring a touchdown in his first game with New England. Fans thought maybe, just maybe, he had turned a corner. But just 11 days later, he was gone. Off-the-field problems had followed him to New England. Multiple lawsuits and accusations surfaced, including allegations of misconduct that led to an NFL investigation. Brown sent threatening messages to one of his accusers, which became public. Patriots owner Robert Kraft was furious over the drama. New England cut him immediately. In just 2 weeks, he had gone from catching passes from Brady to being out of the league. But instead of laying low and working on a comeback, Brown's behavior became even more unpredictable. Legal troubles and social media chaos. With no team willing to touch him, Brown spiraled out of control. His social media meltdowns became a daily occurrence. He attacked the NFL, coaches, and even teammates who once supported him. He mocked Robert Kraft in a controversial post, burning any chance of returning to New England. He live-streamed a bizarre police standoff at his home, involving his ex and the mother of his children. Lawsuits piled up, unpaid debts, assault allegations, and reckless behavior. At this point, the NFL was investigating him. Teams were staying away, and many believed his career was finished. But then, Tom Brady stepped in. An unexpected comeback with the Buccaneers. In 2020, Brown's career got a lifeline. Tom Brady, now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, personally pushed for the team to sign him. Despite all the baggage, Tampa Bay gave him one last shot on a short-term, no-nonsense contract. If he messed up even once, he was gone. To everyone's surprise, Brown stayed quiet and produced on the field. He played a key role in Tampa's offense and even caught a touchdown in Super Bowl 55, helping the Buccaneers win their first championship in nearly 2 decades. It seemed like the perfect comeback story. Antonio Brown had finally found redemption. But then, he threw it all away. The shirtless exit that ended it all. On January 2nd, 2022, in a game against the New York Jets, Antonio Brown's NFL career ended in one of the most bizarre moments in sports history. Midway through the game, Brown suddenly ripped off his jersey and pads, threw them into the stands, ran across the field shirtless, and left the stadium while the game was still happening. The footage went viral instantly. Some thought he had lost his mind. Others believed he had a serious mental health issue. Tampa Bay cut him immediately. His NFL career was over for good. From superstar to outcast, Antonio Brown's freefall was complete. From NFL icon to being blacklisted from the league, from Super Bowl champion to burning every bridge possible, from a Hall of Fame career to an ending no one could have predicted. But was it all just bad decisions? Or was there something deeper behind his downfall? That's the real question. The shocking truth. What's really behind Antonio Brown's behavior? Antonio Brown's downfall is one of the most chaotic and unpredictable in NFL history. From record-breaking performances to social media meltdowns, legal trouble, and a shocking shirtless exit. His story has left fans, analysts, and even former teammates asking one question: why? What really caused Antonio Brown's self-destruction? Was it CTE, brain damage from football? Was it ego and reckless decision-making? Or was it something even deeper, a struggle with mental health that was ignored for too long? Is CTE to blame? The NFL's silent killer. Many former players have suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, a degenerative brain disease caused by repeated head trauma. Brown took brutal hits throughout his career, but one moment stands out. In 2016, he suffered a vicious concussion from a hit by Vontaze Burfict in a playoff game. Some fans and analysts believe this hit changed him forever. CTE has been linked to severe mood swings, impulsive behavior, and erratic decision-making, all of which Brown has displayed. Former NFL players like Junior Seau and Aaron Hernandez were later diagnosed with severe CTE after showing similar behaviors. The scary part? CTE can only be diagnosed after death. Could Brown's bizarre behavior and sudden personality shifts be symptoms of a much bigger issue? Or is there something else going on? Ego and bad decisions. Did fame destroy him? Antonio Brown went from a 6th-round draft pick to a multimillionaire superstar. He was living the dream, but sometimes success comes at a cost. Surrounded by yes men, Brown built a circle of people who never told him no, even when he was making bad decisions. Social media addiction, his need for attention led to public meltdowns, leaked messages, and live-streamed chaos. Destroyed every opportunity. The Steelers, Raiders, Patriots, and Buccaneers all gave him chances, but he burned every bridge. Some believe Brown simply let his ego take over, making him believe he was bigger than the game itself. Mental health struggles, a hidden battle. While many see Brown's behavior as reckless, some believe it's a sign of deeper mental health struggles. Former teammates have expressed concern, saying he needs serious help. He has shown erratic mood swings, paranoia, and impulsivity, all signs of potential bipolar disorder or other conditions. Brown himself has denied needing help, making it difficult for anyone to intervene. Mental health in professional sports is often overlooked, and some believe Antonio Brown is crying out for help, but no one is listening. So what's the truth? Is Antonio Brown a victim of CTE, a superstar who let his ego destroy him, or someone battling deep mental health struggles? The truth is, we may never know for sure, but one thing is certain, his story is far from over. Where is he now? The aftermath of Antonio Brown's NFL exit. After Antonio Brown's infamous shirtless exit from the NFL in January 2022, many thought he would disappear from the spotlight. But if there's one thing Brown has proven, it's that he refuses to fade away. However, life after football hasn't been easy. He's faced failed business ventures, legal troubles, and bizarre public meltdowns. So where does Antonio Brown stand today? Let's break it down. Failed rap career, chasing fame in a new industry. After leaving the NFL, Brown shifted his focus to music, launching a rap career under the name AB. In April 2022, he released his debut album, Paradigm, featuring artists like Young Thug and DaBaby. Despite his NFL fame, the album flopped, receiving little attention or critical acclaim. He continued performing, but his concerts often made headlines for strange behavior, including fans walking out mid-show. His rap career seemed like a desperate attempt to stay relevant, but it never took off the way he hoped. Lawsuits and financial troubles. The fallout begins. Even after earning over $80 million in his NFL career, Brown's financial troubles started stacking up. Multiple lawsuits for unpaid debts, including unpaid jewelry, car loans, and personal services. He was accused of failing to pay child support, leading to an arrest warrant in 2023. Former employees and business partners have sued him for unpaid wages and breach of contract. At one point, rumors circulated that Brown was completely broke, but he denied it, flaunting expensive cars and jewelry on social media. Public feuds and bizarre behavior. Even after leaving the NFL, Brown continued to stir controversy with his erratic actions. Publicly feuding with Tom Brady, the man who gave him his last NFL chance, Brady became one of his biggest targets. Brown mocked Brady's divorce on social media. He posted private messages from Brady, seemingly exposing him. Run-ins with the law. In addition to financial issues, Brown had multiple incidents involving police. In 2022, he was involved in a standoff with police at his Florida home after an alleged domestic dispute. Bizarre interviews. Brown appeared on multiple podcasts and TV shows, ranting about the NFL, calling out players, and making wild claims. It became clear that Brown was spiraling further, with no real direction or stability. Where does he stand today? Antonio Brown is now more known for his controversies than his NFL success. His rap career is stagnant. His business ventures have failed. His legal troubles continue to pile up. While some believe he still has a chance to turn things around, others see him as a cautionary tale of wasted talent and self-destruction. One thing is for sure, Antonio Brown's story is still being written, and if his past is any indication, the next chapter could be just as unpredictable as the last. The legacy of Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's story is one of the most polarizing in NFL history. At his peak, he was unstoppable. A record-breaking wide receiver, a Super Bowl champion, and one of the most electrifying players to ever step on the field. But his fall from grace was just as spectacular as his rise. So how will he be remembered? A Hall of Fame talent, with a tragic downfall. There's no denying Brown's on-field greatness. His stats alone put him in the conversation for the Hall of Fame. 7 Pro Bowls, 4 first-team All-Pro selections, over 12,000 receiving yards. But for many, his legacy isn't just about numbers. It's about what could have been. Instead of being celebrated for his talent, he's now a cautionary tale, a player who had it all but couldn't stay out of his own way. Was it all his fault, or something bigger? The debate over Brown's downfall will continue for years. Was it CTE and brain trauma, mental health struggles, an inflated ego, or just bad decisions catching up with him? No matter the cause, one thing is clear. Antonio Brown changed the NFL, but in the end, the NFL moved on without him. What do you think? Do you think Antonio Brown deserves another chance, or has he burned too many bridges? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.